The water plane can be found in SASSE Library under Assets, Ground Planes, and you can drag and drop that into your scene. And this will come with a little extra. So this water has a few extra features that most of the other ground planes don't have. And I included a little object to go along with it so that you would know how to use it. So we're just going to make this collection visible for a moment. I'm going to get my floating Suzanne and just drag her into the water. So I can hide that collection again, because what's going to happen is any object that you put in the Ripple Float collection, you can hide, and the water plane is actually going to instance and then move along the surface of the water. So if we hit play, we can see that orange Suzanne is bobbing up and down on the surface of the water, ripples around, and if we were to take that Suzanne and move her, you can see the ripples follow her. She's still following along with the pattern of the water. So yeah, anything that you want to be floating, anything that you want to cause those ripples, drop it into this hidden Ripple Float collection, and this object will instance it on the surface. And speaking of the surface, you can also supply a different collection there if you wanted to just trash that, if you had your own pre-made collection. We have the width of the waves. So let's, higher up we turn that so that is reducing the space between them, and then lowering that increases the space. So you're getting wider waves or narrower waves. This will control the height, and the height works in tandem with the foam if you have it enabled. So we can just disable it, and then the height only affects the height, and you can see the performance is a lot snappier. But when we have the foam enabled, that's going to actually determine where it spawns and how much. So offset will allow us to move this along. So if you have a still render that you wanted, and say, your object is halfway in the middle of this and you wanted it just past, you can just sort of cycle the waves to your desired point. Center mask and mask scale work together, because this foam system will read the height of a wave, and depending on your height threshold, it will spawn a number of spheres, which are then congealed into a volume, which gives us this foamy type effect. The problem with this is that when any of these reach the edge of their mesh, they have this nasty kind of pop in and out effect. So I use the center mask as a way to ensure that the waves don't reach the edge. So if we go for something like this, and let's say, oh no, we decrease the mask scale. So this is going to let the foam kind of pop in and out on the sides. It might be hard to see in this particular instance, but when you're animating it, you do really notice it. So that allows me to pull the mask off to the center. And then do we want it just a nice little spherical thing right in the center? Or do we want it to be a little more, out to the sides, a little more of like a full plane wave? So yeah, we already saw the foam. We can lower this and get more foam. The more foam you have, the worse your performance will be, as you can probably see already. Same for the density. So you can see here now more clearly what the actual effect is doing. Put that back up and raise this up, and then we can change the watercolor as well as the foam color. And we can affect the speed of the water as well. And that is the water plane.